up, y'all, and welcome to another episode of Worldly Church Girl. It's your girl, your host, Lillian Harshaw. On today's show, I have a phenomenal motivational speaker. It gives me great honor and privilege to introduce to you Marcia Cole. I want to first start off doing your background first. And I noticed we do have this one thing in common. You come from a very large family. So how large is your family?
So let's see. My great grandmother had about 15 kids.
Jesus.
And then her dad had about, it was 12 or 13 of them. And that's just on my mom's side alone. So on my dad's side, my dad has about 13 kids himself. But I'm not I don't know that side too well, but on my mom's side, like I have a lot of aunts, uncles, and cousins.
Are you coming from a very close-knit? Well, I know your dad's side, you don't know that very well, but your mom's side, are y'all very close-knit?
Oh, yes. We get family vacations, family reunions every year. So I'm originally from North Carolina. Right now I'm in Maryland near Washington, D.C. And so I have family still in North Carolina and a lot of family up here in Maryland as well. But we talk often. We meet up often. We're always doing something together.
My family's from North Carolina too. Winston-Salem, yeah.
Woo! So you might know where I'm from because I'm from a small town, and I always tell people like I'm from a truck stop town where people just don't stop for gas and food. So I'm from Siler City, which is not too far from Winston-Salem.
Okay, like my dad's siblings, 10 of them. His mom had 10, and my parents together have 9. So I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I only had 4. I'm not that person. I did good going halfway. So I'm not going all the way up the road.
No, you gotta know your limits. Yes.
Listen, and we had 1 bathroom. How's that possible? That many kids? Explain yourself.
How many girls?
My sister's the oldest. She's 20 years older than me. So by the time I came, she was gone. So it was all boys.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, the struggle was real. Yeah, they all thought they was my daddy.
Yep, everybody thinks they're your daddy.
No, and I will fight all of you. That's before I'm saved, Lord. This is before I'm saved. Just saying. But so your siblings, are you close to your siblings?
So on my mom's side, it's 3 of us. Unfortunately, I lost my younger brother last year in August. And then I have a younger sister as well. And we've always been very close.
I was going to ask you about your brother. Do you mind talking about what happened with him?
So last August 12th of 2020, my brother was murdered by his girlfriend. He was stabbed.
Oh my God. Jesus. Please tell me they convicted her.
So we are about to start the trial in November.
They haven't even started the trial yet?
No.
Is it because of COVID?
Okay. COVID, everything got pushed. But she's been in jail since the incident happened.
Okay. Thank God for that. And I'm so sorry for your loss, especially like that way, tragically like that. How did you overcome that situation?
Thank God my faith was where it was when it happened. And it's where it is now because like when I got the call that something had happened, I just had this peace about me that, everything is going to be okay. God got this. He's about to turn this around. My brother's about to have a mighty testimony. And I just had this faith that like everything was going to be okay. And so we're outside the hospital. They're doing surgery. We're just waiting. And it felt like we've been there for a week just waiting for someone to say something. You know, it's during COVID, so you can't like walk in a hospital and, so we're outside. And my mom was the only one who was allowed to go in, and wait in the waiting room. And I'm out there just praying, and I'm just praying, and I'm just so hopeful. Like, everyone is like, my brother's name was Dante. Dante's a fighter. Like, he gonna get through this. He gonna be okay. Right. He's a fighter. He a fighter. And so in the middle of me praying, because I was just praying to God, and I said, God, bring him home. God, bring him home. I said, he shall live. He shall not die. He shall live. He shall not die. And then just something came over me, and it was just like, wait, Marcy, you just said bring him home. But let's think about this real quick, because if he go to heaven, that's home. If he comes here, that's home. So what home are we talking about? And when I was saying, God, he shall live, he shall not die, it was just like, well, if he go to heaven, he's living.
Right.
He's not a physical death, but he's living. And when the doctors had said, like, I was on the phone with my mom, somehow God is so good, because somehow her friend snuck into the hospital and was there with her. Yes, it was crazy. I don't know how she got in the hospital. And I'm on the phone, and there was like, the doctor's coming. And I said, what are they saying? What are they saying? What are they saying? And of course, we did all that we could. And like, it was just like, whew, it's just like something came over me, and I was just like, thank you, God. And I was like, I forgive her, and then it transitioned to me saying, like, wait a minute, am I just really hearing this right? Like, why, God? Why my brother? Why, God? Why did this have to happen? And throughout the whole process, the weeks leading up to his funeral, it was just like, I've always been on, like, I forgive her, because who am I to judge? Who am I to throw a stone? Like, in my eyes, we all are children of God, and we all deserve love and his grace. And I forgive her, because guess what? Somebody who was supposed to show up in her life did not show up in her life.
Right.
Somebody was supposed to break something in a generational chain or a generational issue did not do what they're supposed to do. So I can't be mad at her, because there's plenty of people who didn't show up that I could be mad at as well. I just kept asking God, okay, God, what's the purpose? Like, how you about to turn this around? How are you going to use me and my platform to turn this around?
Yes.
So my brother won't die in vain. And I just kept saying, my brother was 22. And so I learned to, like, move into a state of gratefulness. God, thank you for 22 years. Most people don't get 1 day. Most people only get 5 years. Thank you for 22 years. And it's 22 great years. See, the thing that the enemy can't steal, because we know the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But the enemy can't steal the memories that we have with my brother. He can't steal of who my brother is, because everybody he would talk to would talk about his character, and everyone sounded the same. People in my church were coming up to me like, I want to be a part of your family. They said people were saying stuff about your brother that people who are 20 or 60, 70, 80, people will never say those things about him. So it shows that he had, even though he was taken, that he served his purpose. He still served a mighty purpose here on earth. In the 22 years he was here. And so grief is like you just never know how it's going to hit you, to be honest. Like, you have your good days, and then days you just don't want to get out of bed and you cry. But I just continue to remember that there's someone out there who's waiting for me to show up. And if I don't show up, they're going to end up six feet down. And so I just have to continue to press forward and know that God has a greater plan. God has a greater purpose. And in all things, I would trust him, because I know that he is going to turn my tears into joyous praise. He's going to turn my despair into hope.
Yes.
So praise God.
Girl, that's a testimony. That is a testimony. And you're right. And I don't think people really understand that about grief, about how each moment, each day is different from the last day. But the one thing that's not different, the one thing that's consistent through that whole thing, is your faith in God, and that he's going to carry you through that bad moment and through those good moments. Because even in those good moments, a tear still can be shed. And from what you're saying, how close your family was, I know that was a hard hit on you. And I'm just wondering, because I've been through a similar situation in my family, of the why gods, of people ask them why God. How did your family react to your non-reaction?
So yeah, I'm a little different than a lot of people in my family. And so I've always had like a positive outlook on things. And I've always been like a no drama, very positive, person. And so while everyone is like angry, with the girl, like, just saying all types of things. And I would like, people know me, so people kind of already know how I'm going to respond to things for the most part. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so it wasn't no surprise that Marcy is like, I forgive her. It wasn't like a surprise to them that I forgive her, but I was able to bring a perspective to them so they could see it differently, to not house all that anger. Because what people don't understand, when you house anger and unforgiveness, you're not hurting the other person, you're hurting yourself.
Absolutely.
And when you house it, you don't allow yourself to heal. Part of going through the grieving process is allowing yourself to heal. See, we grieve different things. We don't just grieve people. We grieve situations, we grieve job loss, we grieve so many different things.
Divorces, all that.
So
Yeah.
many different things. We
Yeah.
even grieve losing ourselves, right?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so it's
Absolutely.
just like I try to remind people that you have to allow yourself, like, if you're mad, okay, be mad. Like, if you need to cry, okay, cry. But then you need to be able to let go of the things that's holding you back. You need to be able to differentiate what's helping you and what's hurting you. And in
Mm-hmm.
order for you to heal, you got to let that stuff go, because who are we to judge? Like, I don't care how much of a saint that you think you are. There's no perfect person in this world but Jesus. Okay?
Amen.
No
Amen.
perfect person. It could be something simply as, talking about someone, gossiping. It could be something simply as that holding door for someone, not showing kindness to, and so we all sin, but we all just sin in different ways.
Mm-hmm. When that bill collector call and you say that ain't you,
Yes,
that's you.
lying. Those little white lies.
Yeah, that was you on the phone.
Yes.
Now, something you said in your bio, which is very hard to believe, you said that you were shy. I don't see shyness in your spirit, young lady. I don't see it. So, how did you come from being shy to this powerhouse that you are right now?
It's so funny because you sound like my daughter. And when I try to tell her, like, babe, I used to be just like you. I used to be really shy, really timid. And she's like, Mom, where? You're just like a social butterfly. You just walk up to people and talk to them. And hi, my name is Marcia. And I'm like, why no? And I had to like have her talk to my best friend to like,
Mm-hmm.
girl, can you please tell her how I used to be as a kid, teenager, and even in my early years as being an adult.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, my identity was in the wrong things. My identity was in worldly things. My identity was in the fact that I was a fatherless child, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
my life, I was a people pleaser. I'm always looking for a validation and acceptance of others. I'm always being the person that I think people would like instead of just being me, you know? And when I was finally able, like in 2000, it was about 2015, when I went through a hard, tough time in my life, and then something just came over me, and it's like, I'm not loving myself, and I have not healed from childhood trauma that I was still allowing to carry on into my adulthood. And it was like, I need Jesus and I need therapy. And what did I do? I went to go find Jesus and I found therapy. I've always had a foundation of faith and of God because I grew up in the church and things like that. But I was just that, okay, we go to church, it's Easter or it's a special event. But I didn't have that relationship with God. And so when I started getting that relationship, getting to understand, like, who is God? Like let's talk about this. Like, who is God for real? And then what does God say about me? And so when I
Mm-hmm.
was able to strip the false self identity I had and to get the true identity that we have in Christ, I was able to step into who I was, and I was able to love me for me, even my imperfections. I was able to love me and understand that my voice does matter, that my voice needs to be heard, that the world can't, I shouldn't count on the world to accept or validate me. Listen, the world changed their feelings like they changed their draws. One minute they like you, the next minute they don't. One minute they support you, the next minute they don't, you know? And so once I was able to truly have a relationship with God, I was able to find me. Listen, He's still working on me. I still shy away from certain things or still shrink in certain situations, but I'm always reminding myself, and I have to say, Marcy, this is not about you. Because see, when we're not operating as the people that God has created us to be, we're really being selfish and we're making things about us. And it's like, Marcy, get out your feelings because this is not about you. So put yourself down and pick up the cross and let's go do this thing. Because in our weakness, He is made strong.
Yes. Come on, girl. You better be glad you ain't sitting in front of me. I'll throw a church fan at you. Now, I'm so happy that you said that not only did you find God in Christ, which is the most important thing, but you also went to therapy because the church has shied away from therapists for so long. And even though they're still coming around, there's still those old schoolers out there that still feel like, well, all you need to do is just pray and you'll be fine. That is true to a sense, to a degree. And I'm saying this, and then I want you to go ahead and elaborate that God has blessed so many people with so much knowledge and wisdom for a reason. Doctors, lawyers, and you go to them whenever you are sick or wherever you have a legal issue. So why would you not go to a professional to help you with your emotional issues? What is the difference? So I'm going to give you the floor on that, on what in your mind said, not only do I need Christ, but I also need professional help.
See, it's in the church, I call like what's it called? Old Testament Christians, because there's a difference between Old Testament and New Testament. But also in our community as African Americans, right? Like somebody just need to pray for you, you need to go get prayed for and things like that. But the thing is, yeah, prayer does work, but also therapy does work as well, because we
Yes.
need to be able to learn these strategies that we can use to heal. Therapy helps us. It gives us like an unbiased guidance, instead of you just going to your home girl who may give you good advice, but her advice is based on her own experience. And sometimes people have a limited view of things, but therapy gives you an opportunity to just let loose, express yourself. And then it allows the therapist to give you practical strategies to use to overcome life challenges, positive coping skills, and guess what? Sometimes when you talk to God, like you have to be able to sit and listen, but that's what the therapist do as well. The therapist knows how to ask you certain questions to dig things out that you have hidden. Ask you questions in a way that you like, wow, I never thought about it that way, or I totally forgot about all of that. And so Jesus in therapy, now for me, I always look for a Christian therapist, because if I'm going to go to someone and sit on someone's couch, I need to make sure that they're not just leading me based on their professional experience, but I need to make sure they're also giving me spiritual wisdom as well. And so whenever I find a therapist, like the person needs to look like me, this is just my preference, and the person
Right.
needs to be a Christian. So when they're guiding me, that like when I was grieving, when the therapist was telling me how to grieve, well, I need you to tell me where to go in the Bible and to learn more about grieving, like what scriptures, what stories in the Bible what do I need to be declaring over my life. So a therapist is able to give us the tools that we need, the practical things that we need, whereas the relationship with God, it helps you identify who you are and understand who God is, and to understand that you're never alone.
And I agree with finding a therapist that fits your criteria because you want someone who relates, not necessarily like you said, your buddy or your family member, who is going to, like you said, may give you an unbiased answer, but you need someone who I can't talk to someone about racism who does not understand what it feels like to be in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
They would not completely understand. They will only, as you said, their clinical answer or their well, just their textbook answer of how I should deal with it versus understanding the shoes I'm walking in.
Mm-hmm.
So, or like you said, or a Christian way. So I understand where you're coming from. Now, what led you to become a motivational speaker?
So, it's so funny because like it's always been in me. I just didn't have a title for it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was the friend that everyone would go to for like advice or guidance. Or I was always the one who was trying to motivate, my friends. And so people will always say like, Marcia, like you're so good at this. But see, I didn't believe it. Like I didn't see it. Like I'm like, people would say like, I think you're supposed to be a speaker. You should speak. And I'm like, who? And it's like, God, are you like, I was like Moses, like, you want me to speak? I'm like, man, I'm American. And sometimes I don't even know how to speak English correctly. And you want me, who is going to listen to, I'm a I'm in my 30s. I'm like, I sound like a freaking 12-year-old. Who is going to listen to me? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I just always had this way about helping people understand, like putting things in perspective for people and actually helping people move. And I didn't realize it that I've always been doing it. Sometimes when we look at certain things, if we're not doing it on the big scale, we discount what we're doing because the
Mm-hmm.
world makes us think that we're supposed to be on the podium or in a stadium with 10,000 people. No, that's the world perspective. But in
Right.
everything, every encounter that we do, every environment that we do, we're using our gifts and we're serving a purpose. And so I just started like embracing once I truly was able to accept the gifts that God has given me. Okay, God, so I have a gift for encouraging people. I'm an encourager, I'm a teacher, and it was just like, okay, now I'm about to step into this. And I just started
Mm-hmm.
stepping into it. And I like the first thing I done was like, okay, if I'm going to speak, I need to like improve my speaking skills. So like I'm on YouTube University, watching
Mm-hmm.
videos and like getting deeper into the word. Then I joined like a Toastmasters, which is the cheapest and very great program for people who are looking to get into any type of public speaking.
Mm-hmm.
It's like cheaper than Netflix, right? And you gain so much more from it.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and so then I just started getting really bold in my speaking. Like I said, I was the one who went and speak, who went and volunteered to speak, who went and barely raising my hand to participate in things. To
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I'll do it. Or if someone asked me to do it, I wouldn't like shy back. I would be like, okay, I will do it. What do you? I mean, it started with me leading volunteer groups in women's shelters, and me just going in to serve lunch, to me actually turning it into an empowerment session where like each
Wow.
time I would go, I would prepare like a speech, and I would prepare an activity for us to do, whether it's vision boards, whether it's writing our thoughts down and taking our negative thoughts and making them positive thoughts. I mean, to so many different activities. I'm still a work in progress, as we all are.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized that God gave me a voice, and this is with anybody. You don't have to be a motivational speaker, but God gave us a voice, and we have to use that voice in the capacity that He gave us our voice. Whether it's us encouraging someone, whether it's us sharing our story, whether it's us educating someone, we have a voice. For so long, my voice was silent because I thought my voice didn't matter. I thought that no one didn't care about what I had to say, and I thought that no one would listen to me. But the whole
Mm-hmm.
time, the problem was, it wasn't about people rejecting me. It was about me rejecting myself and the person that God had called me to be.
Mm-hmm. And you used your gift to be part of you're a co-founder of this wonderful organization, Born2love Inc. Can you tell us about it?
Yes. So with my co-founder, we founded Born2love in 2019 is when we became officially a 501c3. So before that, like I said, I've always had a heart to serve. So you can always catch me in the community and shelters. And I had just started doing shelters. It would just be me going to a shelter, feeding about 40 to 50 women. And then I started telling people about it. And then it became like a group. We would go and we would do the activities. We would do like a women's boutique where we collect donations, and we would set up shoes, clothes, hygiene products. We would invite community resources out for the women.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, God, like, and I've worked for nonprofits in the past, and it was like, okay, if you want to do more, you need to get a nonprofit status. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And so one of the ladies that had came on board to volunteer with me, she and I decided that, okay, let's just do this together. And so that's how we formed Born2love. Now, Born2love came to me years ago when I was questioning God and asking him, like, what am I here for? Like, how can people just treat me any kind of way and I just can still be nice to them, treat people the same, be so forgiving. And God placed in my spirit, you were born to love. And it's like, that's the name of the nonprofit, because we are all, love conquers all, right? We're all here to love. Love is the greatest of them all. And so we formed Born2love, and our primary mission is to help single mothers of color. And so our primary mission is to help single mothers of color with referral programs, with outreach programs, and just really like educational workshops and things of that nature.
Now, where are you located at?
We're in, it's called Montgomery County, Maryland.
Okay. So are you hoping to broaden this out on a national way, or you're satisfied with where it is?
Wherever God takes us, we're going.
Amen. Ain't that it? You also have an uplifting program called Faith, Focus, and Finish Strong Zoom Talk.
Yes.
Okay.
So the Faith
no, go ahead.
Okay, the Faith, Focus, and Finish Strong Zoom Talk. I actually started that during the pandemic, April of 2020. And this was part of me stepping out and trusting God and using my gifts. During when the pandemic first started, everyone was like very scared and nervous and just didn't know what was going on. But I just had this positive perspective on it. I'm like, yes, God is shutting everything down. Like, we can finally just rest and spend time with family, and like, because I'm a busybody, right? So I got big kids. I'm always running here and there. And so everyone was coming, and I was like, God was like, I want you to create an environment where women can come and feel uplifted and feel motivated. And so that's how the Zoom Talk was created. And so every Thursday at 8:30 Eastern time, we come together on Zoom. I have special guests that come on, and they just share their stories. They share their expertise to help women. And the goal of it is to have a community of sisterhood, motivation, and prayer to help women truly see the beauty that God has them on, the beauty in the path that God has them on, and to be able to like break free from the paralyzing mindset, everything that was meant to stop them. And so bringing these women on to help them break free from them things and heal from them things.
And what gave you the title? What was motivation for the title?
It just came, like, I was just like, okay, what am I gonna call this? And when I thought about it, it was like, okay, in life you have to have faith, right?
Right.
We have faith. We have to focus on things above, right?
Yes.
If we have the right faith and we have our focus despite what we're going through, if we have the right faith and we keep our eyes on God, then we can finish strong, because we're already destined to finish strong. So having faith and having the right focus, we are going to finish strong.
Because we're already more than conquerors.
What? More than.
More than. That's the key.
Yes, people don't realize that, because it's not we are conquerors. We are more than conquerors.
My favorite scripture. one of my favorite scriptures. Yeah, more than um wearing so many hats. You're a wife, a mother, entrepreneur, woman of God, of course, and businesswoman, and you're a motivational speaker, and the list goes on. Your resume is about yay big. How do you find time to take care of you?
Just learned how to do that, to be honest. Like, it took me some time to actually understand the importance of rest and self-care.
Now,
And
what do you do for yourself?
so for me,
Mm-hmm.
I love just, I've always been like a go, go, go type of person, but I just love just being in the house. I love going on walks for one. I love nature walks.
Mm-hmm.
I love just being in the house, binge watching a show, um, or reading a good book. And I love going on vacations.
Okay. What show are you binge watching right now?
Right now, what am I binge watching right now? I think, what have I watched? Because I don't watch TV that much. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I think I'm watching Squid Games with my
Uh,
family.
yeah. Are you letting your kids watch it with you?
I have a teenager, like a
Okay.
preteen teenager. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, girl. So which episode are you on right now? We are not gonna give out any spoilers, folks, if y'all haven't seen it. But which episode are you on right now?
I believe I'm on 4 or 5.
Okay, so they went back. So you were where they went back because
Okay.
they are you at where they voted and they decided to leave? Tad of a spoiler, but not really.
Yeah, yeah. I'm on where they already came back.
Okay, so they're back now. Okay. Whoo, girl, I watched that season in one day. I couldn't stop.
You
It
sound
was
like
terrible.
my son. He's been he went ahead of us. Like, we watched the first episode together, and because of
Mm-hmm.
our schedules, we don't always have time to sit down. So he couldn't wait till the next time we can sit together. He just watched the whole. He said, "I'll still sit down and watch it with you guys."
That's me. I'll watch the whole thing, but if you want to watch it again, I will, especially if I liked it. Yeah, I'll watch it. But yeah, I'm that person that if I can watch a whole thing all at once, yeah, I'm gonna pull an all nighter and let's do it. I'm sure my husband don't like that, but I have bad insomnia, so sorry, honey. Um, what advice would you give someone who feels like they have a purpose, but they don't feel like they're fully equipped to go after that purpose?
Okay, so the first thing I would ask that person is, what makes you think that you're not fully equipped to go after your purpose? And
Mm-hmm.
and it's so funny you asked me this question, because the thing is, we don't understand that we're always in purpose. We're not
Yeah.
trying to reach purpose. We're always in purpose. Now, sometimes God will give us a vision of where He's taking us, right? And because we haven't reached that, we think that we're not in purpose. Or because we're looking at the world and what the world is telling us is purpose, we think that we're not in purpose. But whatever
Mm-hmm.
God has placed in you, God is always using you if you allow Him to. So you're always in purpose. And every assignment, whether job, whatever friendship, whatever room you're in, you're always in purpose. So learn to be in the moment, because God, as soon as you finish with this assignment, God is going to open the door for the next assignment. You finish that assignment, He's going to open the door for the next assignment. But don't rush to get to where God has already shown you that He's taking you, because His promises are still true. And so just appreciate where you are. And if you're struggling with who you are and having confidence and believing in yourself, spend some time with God, spend some time with His word, and be mindful of what you're watching and who you're listening to.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens if people put doubt in us, right? So, like, you might have a conversation with someone and they'll be like, that was that you should be really sad about that. People can't tell you how you should feel about things or what you
Right.
feel about things. And so you have to be so confident in who you are and who God says you are, that whatever people are saying about you or around you, it don't even matter. See, once you defeat the enemy within, you're good. Everything is, and you have to figure out, usually if you feel that way, you have some issues with identity and confidence in yourself. And so you have
Mm-hmm.
to really get to the root of that. So it's usually something that happened in your childhood that makes you think that you're unworthy, that you're undeserving, that you're not equipped. And you have to get to that, and you have to heal from that, and you have to uproot those things, those lies, and then fill yourself with truth. So create yourself some affirmations that you just repeat every day, and spend some time with God so you can understand what. Go to Google and ask, what does God say about me? And continue to play that in your head. So whenever anyone else, the world says something about you, you know that's a lie because God didn't say it. So when someone comes to you, say you're not qualified, you're not equipped, that's not what God says. That's not what God
Yes.
says about me. Let me take you to his word and let me show you what he says about me. Because that
Mm-hmm.
applies to you. That doesn't apply to this person or that person. That applies to you too. So get into his word and get into a relationship with him.
And here's a big one. People will talk to you, but you will talk to you. You will talk yourself negative too. You will talk yourself out of something. You will be your own worst enemy. And everybody around you will say positive things, but you won't even hear it because of all this negativity in your own head and in your own heart. Because, like you said, something that happened in your childhood or even just period in your life, and you're just resting on that negative thought. Stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. And I know it's easier said than done, and you will have a moment, but something I always say that if it's a moment, let it be just that, a moment,
Mm-hmm.
not a lifelong session of depression. Ooh, that rhymed, bars. Just
Yeah. Come on, girl.
just just have your moment. Like you said, if you want to cry, cry, get it out. Now wipe those tears and get busy. Get busy. Get busy. And social media alone will make you feel bad about yourself. And those are just pictures. You don't know them. They don't know you. They ain't never heard of your name. You following a whole bunch of people who will never say anything back to you. And your feelings are hurt because you're looking at their pictures because you
But
want their life.
But you don't want that. No, no, no. See,
No.
people got to realize, you got to start telling yourself, I don't want that. That's not mine. Because what
Mm-hmm.
people post on social media, that's just a highlight of their life. If you dig a little deep, believe me, you don't want it. You don't want to go through what they had to go through to show up. See, people will post pictures on social media, but they won't post how many pictures they had to post.
I mean, even if you think about yourself before you post a picture, how many pictures did you take before you was finally like, okay, that's the one I'm gonna go ahead and post? Probably about 50. And you're doing it yourself. They got a professional photographer,
Mm-hmm.
a makeup artist, a wigster. Yeah, I'm gonna call her a wigster, hairstylist. Got all that to make it, and rented a yacht that
Mm-hmm.
ain't even their boat just to take one picture for
Yes.
you, for you to
Mm-hmm.
be like, I wish I had that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Because half the time half of them they sold to the devil. So no, you don't.
Yes.
You don't want their life.
And
You
that's
better
what
find
you
your
have to
own.
do. You have to define what success means for you,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of these people that you see on social media that's living this luxury, glamorous lifestyle, they don't spend time with their kids. You know, they
Mm-mm.
have debt. They probably have I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to talk about people, but I'm just saying, like, you don't know what they had to sacrifice, right? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not willing to sacrifice certain things. So you have to define what success means for you, and then you have
Mm-hmm.
to go after it. What's important, what's a priority to you,
Right.
what's non-negotiables for you. And if someone has anything to say about you, guess what? It's really not about you, it's really about them. So let it go. What if God
Yeah.
didn't say it? Who cares? Someone has something to say negative about you, and it's not to uplift you or help you heal or help you. Who cares? You got to get comfortable with being alone. But guess what? The word said, God says, I will never leave you or fail you.
Oh, forsake. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
God says, I came to give you hope and a future. I am your helper. What will mere people do to you? Do not
Mm-hmm.
fear. Check out Jesus. I'm
Yes.
telling you, get to know Jesus.
Come on now. Okay, I like how you use like get to know Jesus. A little Ebony, get to know Jesus.
Yes.
Know him for yourself.
Be
It's a
you.
personal relationship. And that's another thing. People, they don't understand. God is coming for you, not a copy of someone else. So be, like you said, be you.
And you know why, people like that opportunity haven't came to that person or that door hasn't opened? Because they're
Mm-hmm.
not showing up as them. So guess what? That opportunity is still looking for you. They're like, where is she at? Where is he at? I cannot find him. Because you're showing up as a fraud. You're not showing up as the person that God has created you to be. So get comfortable with being you. I don't care what you look like, what you sound like, how you dress. Listen, God created you to be you, and you are perfect in his eyes. You are his masterpiece. He has chosen you. He has forgiven you. He has created you for a purpose, on purpose. Believe that. Stamp that. You want to stamp that? Stamp that, period. You know?
Come on now.
And I'm telling you, like, this is how I have to talk to myself. Until you get honest with yourself, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going to heal. Not, you have to get honest with yourself. Stop looking out into the world and blaming mama and dad and this relationship and this job and this and that, the color of your skin. No, 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 no. Get real with yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and figure out what needs to change, what needs to be different. And realize that
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I haven't been able to move forward is because of me. So what do I need to put down so I can move forward? Who do I need to put down so I can move forward?
If you're going through the same thing over and over again, and it's with different people or different situations, but it's the same scenario, the common denominator in that scenario is you. It's you, ma'am. It's you, sir. You're the problem, not everybody else. It is YOU. What is next for you?
The next thing is for me to continue to grow my platform. With my Zoom Talk community, I do plan to I hosted my very first virtual women conference to celebrate the
Oh,
anniversary.
congratulations.
Thank you. To
You're
celebrate the
welcome.
anniversary of my Zoom Talk. And so I just plan to expand to do retreats, to do missionary trips like in Africa and other countries, third world countries. And I plan to publish some books, God willing. Right now I just say I'm just a girl allowing God to use her. Wherever he leads, I will follow.
Well, and what I love is that you're thinking big. You're not thinking small.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
he'll do it for you. He'll do it.
yes, because what I realize is, and what we have to realize as people is we serve a big God. So sometimes when we're praying and we're praying for things and God is, and you wonder like, why God is not answering? Because God is looking at you like, do you know who I am? You can do that for yourself. Come bigger, come bigger. Because God likes to do things where people can look at you and be like, I know there's a God. How
Yes.
did you make it through that? How did you go from bankruptcy to this? How did you go from a divorce to this? How did you go from losing your job to this? From losing
Mm-hmm.
a child, whatever. God likes to do things so he can get the glory. So when people look at you and they be like, how did you do it? And your answer is, but God, only God, my God.
Nobody but God.
Yes,
It was not me at all.
at all.
At all.
I was just a vessel. I was just there.
Listen, because like even this right here, this ain't me. Absolutely not. No. So I know you feel the same way. This whole shenanigans, no. This is nothing but God.
Yes.
So how can people find you?
I am on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube and Clubhouse sometimes, not that often. But all my handles are the same. You can, and even my website is just Marcia, my name, the letter N, Cole.
Okay, and people can contact you to do motivational speeches or anything like that if they wanted to.
Yep. Prayer requests. I am a prayer warrior. I love standing in agreement with people. So yeah, feel free to contact me.
Okay, here's your last question. If you can have any song be your theme song when you walked into a room, what would it be and why?
So I guess I would have to say I love Kareem Hawthorne, and this
Mm-hmm.
is a tough one though, but the song that I've been rocking with for the longest is Unstoppable. And
Yeah.
so that would be like my theme song because I am unstoppable. No matter what I face, no matter what I go through, no matter what the trick of the enemy is, I serve a God who is bigger than everything, who will help me conquer every mountain, who will help me defeat every giant, who will help me overcome every storm.
Yes.
So I cannot
Yes.
be touched. I got the victory, you know?
Yes.
So that would be it.
Yeah. Okay. I love that song.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Love it. Love it. That's one of those songs where you put on and just be lost in the
Yeah.
moment.
Mm-hmm.
Lost.
And it boosts
Lost.
your energy. I mean, your
Yes.
confidence be like, girl,
And look, don't mess with me. Look,
right, say
look,
something.
especially if you're driving.
Yeah,
Just like, ooh, let me get my foot off this gas.
yeah. You be like, what you say? Say something. You know, can't be touched. Can't be touched.
Ain't that it? Oh my God. Well, you know what? You are a beautiful inside and out, and I'm so thankful and honored that you are on the show and all the things that you're doing for your community and in the very near future worldwide. I'm so thankful and honored, and I know God is going to do nothing but exceedingly and abundantly more things for you and your family. Thank you, Marcia, for being on my show. I am so excited about all the things God's going to do for you, and I hope and pray that one day that you and I can collaborate again. You are a phenomenal woman. And hey, did you know Worldly Church Girl's live? That's right, Worldly Church Girl has gone live. As a matter of fact, you can see this very episode on my Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and LinkedIn page. And if you would like to be on Worldly Church Girl, or if you'd like to learn more about moi, go to www.worldlychurchgirl.com, go to my contact page, and shoot me an email. And let's see what we can do with that thing. And have you subscribed yet? What are you waiting for? As you can see, each show is getting better and better, and God is bringing forth so many people to the forefront to show you what He can do. Hit that subscription button so you will never miss another episode. And as always, thanks for joining your one and only Worldly Church Girl.